Alright, so I got my pieces all cut out and I'm going to start assembling the boards, and hopefully by the time we're done it'll look like that, but newer, I guess. So this is the first time I have assembled one of these. So we'll just see how it goes. So I mark the center, put a mark on the center, and so I got these here. One side's, where's the camera? One side's a little thicker than the other side. So I'm just going to lay them all out real quick just to get an idea. So I got some of these. These are 3/8 we use for our chairs, just scraps pieces. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like that'll work. I did mark, I don't know if you can see that, did a little mark on there, so I knew exactly where my holes, so they were all in line to look good. You don't have to do that, but to get it, all I did is made a little jig up, put my marks on where I wanted them. I just set it there, put a little dot in it, flip it over, did the same thing there. It's just a scrap piece of wood, so just a little easier. A little easier to get everything uniformed. I keep forgetting I have a mic on me, so I don't have to yell. Everything uniformed, so it just looks good. And then on my CNC, I cut a bunch of these plugs. Will cover them up. What's nice, I pre-drilled and checked it out, but this countersink bit here basically went down. There's a line right on there. Just went down to that, and it gives you a pretty good. It's about halfway through a 3/4 inch board, about 3/8 inch deep, and that's why I made my plugs. Actually a little bit deeper than that, but so that looks like that'll work. So I'm gonna go start right in the center. I believe these are 1-inch screws. 1 1/4, perfect. You could go a little bit thicker, but because the countersink's in, goes down about halfway through. Goes about halfway through, so that's going to give me a good bite on that. And since this ain't finished, I think I'm going to put a little bit of glue on it. That radio is going to come on and off, I guess. Excuse me. All right, yeah, if you don't take care of this tip, it gets last person used it. That's cleaned out pretty good. Yeah, myself, I haven't bought a new one of them in a long time. The tip does get pretty messed up, and I don't buy none of the fancy. Although I do have some with rollers and stuff on it, but because I don't have a cleanup shop or cleanup spot in the garage, I have to take it in the house and all that stuff. So I don't use them unless I'm doing a bunch of the same thing. If it's going to save me time. All right, so we got that. Look that sound. All right. So I'm going to do on this other side over here just because I can see the line. And I want about the half thickness. You could mark it on there, I guess, but it's going to be close enough. Just go along one side. That's a bad thing with using using glue. It likes to move around a little bit. So I'll do the one. Get it close. And I'll come with my speed square. All right. So I'll do the same. This one. Yeah, I just got this mic and I really like it. Then I can wander around the shop and can still hear me. All right. I'll just go right on down. And this is made out of cedar. And I am using exterior wood screws. Me covering them up, they probably ain't going to matter much. And you can make like a little square T so you can push it right there and keep them lined up this way if you wanted to. And I'm not using exterior, using Type Bond 2. What works really good. It's water resistant, but for me it seemed to work better than the 3 that's made for outside for some reason. Doing like cabinets and stuff like that and interior, but as long as it's all going to be sealed, you wouldn't even have to really glue it. I don't glue my exterior chairs. Given a wider gap there, a wider gap makes it nice. Makes it nice. You can get in there and do it. If you are going to stain it or whatever, you can get inside there a lot easier than the 1/8 inch gap. All right, so you know, some people would spread that out. And I've done experiment and stuff. Most of the time, you put a good bead on there, it's going to spread out when you tighten it up. And as long as you have some on there, you're going to be good to go. Yeah, I'm not. It sounds like I'm tightening it down pretty good, but I'm really not. Just wait or watching it once it hits the wood in here, I'm good to go. And I'm putting just clear on here. If I was staining it, I would take a cloth and clean that up a little bit better. The glue that squeezes out. I don't know if you can see over there, but these I make for almost everything I do, especially if I think I'm going to make another one. I take it's MDF, or I can't remember what it's called, but it's just an 1/8 inch template. You could make it out of if you did a lot of them, you could do them out of the plastic or the clear plastic, so you could use your router to router mount. But I either have it set up to do cut some of the pieces on my CNC, and then the rest I just cut out by hand. CNC is very nice to have, but it's not a cheap tool. And I thought I would use a lot more of it, and I do use it a lot. But I'm changing my. I missed my screws. Changing some of the stuff like signs. Doing signs with it's really nice. Setting this stuff up because I already have a pattern there. It does take a little bit of knowledge of be able to do that, and I'm still learning on the designing part. The basic shapes, nice and easy. Lettering, super easy. They have everything there for you. I do have easel software that came with my machine, and it works very, very user friendly. Very user friendly. But you gotta be hooked up to the internet all the time to use it. So that kind of is rough. And I had to buy a dedicated laptop. I didn't have to, but makes it easier having a dedicated. But it don't take much. I mean, you don't have to have a fancy because everything's basically online. So that's what's nice. You don't have to invest in a real expensive laptop computer. As long as you have internet access and all that stuff, you could actually do a cheaper desktop, but you do get a lot of dust on it. And these screws, for some reason, if you don't pre-drill through all that, it pushes up on it. That's why I back it out. Not all the time, but like that one there pushed up. So I just back it out once you kind of pre-drill it. And my rockers are a little bit different than that. I did cut these out on the CNC. Just so you had a nice cut on there. On the bottom cut. It is a little bit different shape, but it's a hair shorter. It's a little bit shorter than the pattern I got. But I probably should make a set of patterns for that. I don't know if you're interested in this. I might be able to send you the pattern, make some patterns and sell them or something. But and I forgot to make a piece. Oh, all right. So I got to figure this out. Now my pattern made a mark where that little piece there goes. So mark that. But that's where the wing goes on, and then this piece here. So we're going to go ahead and see where it's at. All right, 4 1/8. And we'll just square that up. Then again, it really is not super critical. All right, so that's the tail fin. Now I'm going to put the bottom one of these on. And I'm using 3/4 inch dowel. And I used that bit to drill that out. And I'm going to have to cut a piece on here yet. But on my jig, I made the holes. I use this jig for both the ones with the handles in it. I just put it over there and flipped it around, and use that as my guide. So the curve goes in, and I'm going to mark the center of this. We're at 21 1/2. 21 1/2, 3/4. Take this and mark. I just put a little mark on that right there. My light went out over here in a second. One of those sensor lights over there, and if I don't move around. All right, so I'm gonna mark the center of this. Make sure I'm on the wrong side. And I'm going to put 3 screws in that. Those don't have to be countersink too far. And you can mark the center of your 2x4 if you wanted to. I'm just going to make sure this fits in there. All right. So now this one here fits in there nice. Go ahead. Glue that. These are 2-inch screws. We'll put 3 of them in there with that glue. Should be good. All right. So there's that. I got that together, and this here. I do have the wheels. That was another thing is got these wheels. I got a plug stuck in there. I gotta get out. And I didn't glue it, so it shouldn't be. But yeah, with that CNC, it makes it nice. Drills these holes and make a nice, perfect circle. And I don't have to use a hole saw with a center screw in there. But I do have to cut a piece in the center there. To mount underneath here. So I'll have to cut that piece real quick. Oh, I need a 2x4. Huh. Anyways, the CNC cuts out these plugs, and all you have to do is pop them right out. Gives you the plugs. But you can buy a drill bit that does the same thing, drills down in there. You either do it on a drill press. It's easier to do it on the drill press. You can make them all out of scraps. But I got to make this little piece that holds into hold the tires that tires go on. And that's going to be made out of 2x material. And can't really, so it's the same width as that. It would be 3 inches. Yeah, so 3 inches. 3 inches, and goes to that. So we're at 5 inches high. So let me cut that real quick. Sorry about the noise. Maybe I can mute that. But all right. So it's all right. So anyways, I just drew it out by eye. Don't really come over to the bandsaw. Yeah, it sounds like it needs adjusted. All right. So yeah, this is what I made. That's what it looks like. I should make a jig, but I'm doing the video here, so I'm gonna. So it's 1.5 inches back from the front. That's where we want it. And the way they have it screwed in is through there, so we'll do the same thing. And I'm going to use 3-inch screws for this one. And this one I'm going to put a little bit more glue on it, just because it's opening and it's going to soak in a little bit. And that's squeezing all over the place, so we will. Well, I'm going to use it. And I know when I screw this in, it's going to want to pull that way. And I'm usually about 1/8 of an inch or so. Okay, so I'd put a 2-inch on that one. Yeah, put a 2-inch screw on that one. So and to get in the corner, I just use a screwdriver. Yeah, it's a flathead or regular. Yeah, let's put this other one in it. So I'm going to go 3-inch on this front one. What? I bet you I hit that dang screw. Alright, so this is coming down and hitting that screw right in the center. So I'm going to have to try to. Yeah. On a little bit different of an angle. And I'm going to use a 2-inch. It did move around on me, so I'm going to re-square it up. All right. Much better, much better. Now I can clean that up. And another thing I'm going to do on this, glue over here. When I put these in, I'm going to screw them. Don't look like they screwed those in, but I'm going to screw them. So what when you drill that with that drill bit, it leaves a little pilot hole or little hole. And I'm just going to drill all the way through. And I'm halfway with this hole here. I'm already halfway through, so I don't really want to have too much of a, just enough for the screw head to go in. So I am going to glue these in. Just put a little bit on the bottom of it. And this one, because I do want some on the side, I'm just going to put it right on the very edge. It's going to push up. But I'm not going to screw the top in. I think I like that idea because it's probably going to be floating a little bit anyways. Oh, and I noticed I don't have my any safety glasses on. Anytime you run your table saws or anything, you definitely should have some safety glasses on. I usually have them sitting on the machine, but I took them inside, so I have to go get them. And I probably should have dry fitted this first to make sure my top piece is going to fit it right. Let's see here. Alright, I might have to loosen those up. Ooh, I'm off on them. I'm off a lot on them. Alright, see, I'm off on that right there. So, I'm going to have to pull them out. And I am 3/8 too long. So, glad I checked that before that glue set up. So, I'm going to take a 1/16 more off than pull them out. Try to do it real quick. So, all right. We got 3/8. I'm going to go here longer. I'm going to set. I got this little jig here, so we're going to set that up. That's why you should dry fit everything first before you start gluing stuff. But anyways, is my mic still on? It's still on. Cool. See that one. All right, let's see if that's gonna work now. Oh, and it's backwards. I'll put the handles towards where the kid's gonna sit. All right, so looks like that's gonna work. Go ahead and put some glue on these. All right, well, that looks good. So, find the center of that. Now these ones I'm going to put peg in, so I'm going to want to make sure I drill them. That one's have to go back a little further. I didn't put no glue on the L one. I'm going to put those wheels on after I get it set in there, I think. There's a knot right there. Yeah, I guess we can do that. That's just the way they had it. Put a glue in the center here. And by eye, I'm just putting this in the center over here. Yeah, when I build things, I do like to build more than one thing at a time. Because it seems like once you set up, you make a little bit more money as far as your time wise. You can do more because everything's set up already. All right. So there's that. So it looks like the only thing I need to do. Oh, I got to put that seat in yet. All right, so we'll do the seat next. And this is 8 inches, so we'll go 4 center. You put 2, but I think I'm gonna put 3 on there. And off. All right. All right, that's off. Just basically, that looks good there. And I'm off just because I changed this just a little bit, so I'm gonna. Yeah, much better, much better. All right. I get in the center. So I got to mark this one and that one. All right, so we're at 10 3/4, so that'd be 5 3/8. I want the center of that one, and I'm going to do. All right. So I'm going to flip it over and do that, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to fill all these holes here, glue them, put them in there, and then I'll wait till tomorrow, cut them off, sand them flush, and that way, while I'm going to do that later, then I'll screw from underneath here, and I'll flip it over, but screw from the bottom up, glue it, screw it, but it's going to be a whole lot easier getting to these with this not in the way. So I'm going to fill them up. So I need 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 16, 32, 38 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 6. All right. And I'm trying to get the grain going the same way. Although it don't match up if it was finer. I'm going to leave that glue and everything right sticking up like that. I'm going to hit it with a a sander. That way I know the glue's got all the way around it. And it's set up. It should be a little bit tighter than what they are, I guess. Yeah, so you put a pretty good blob on there. Just turn it a little bit and make sure the glue's set up. Just look at the grain. If it looks like it's going, glue on my fingers. So on my YouTube channel, I'll probably add my finishing, the last part of it. So I don't know what TikTok's going to do. I might have to edit it a little bit, but But this evening, if everything goes right, I'm going to go live doing some epoxy projects. I'm not going to be able to do all the ones I want, but I'm hoping if I can get it set up every other day where I can go live and do epoxy. I would have gone live doing this, but I want to record this so I have it on my YouTube. So if people need to, if I sell them pieces or whatever and they want to assemble it themselves, I have it on there. Or sell the pattern or whatever, and you can watch it. And I apologize for my crappy recording skills, but it's just me. And it's just me, and it's kind of hard to have. And that's all I have is my phone right now. I'd like to get a better system set up, or camera. And my phone's really even not that great of a phone, so hopefully things can pick up by winter time here when I can get some more better equipment. I do have this mic, and this mic is a cordless mic, and as long as it's still on, I gotta check it every once in a while because I don't know if it got a good charge or not. So now all I have to do is let this dry overnight. Well, I'm going to let it dry overnight. Probably could let it go a few hours. I don't know how long this takes up. It's not terrible though. I can unclamp the stuff the same day usually. So all right. So that's it for today. We'll let her sit right on here. And I think they'll work out just fine. So, oh, well, I'll put this on tomorrow too. It's a propeller. Just goes in the center and the front there. And that one you don't want to glue that one in. Yeah, we'll put it on now. But I'm going to use a longer screw. I actually have one of these screws. See how there ain't nothing on there? They'll make that propeller spin. So they'll let it spin. But I am going to pre-drill the hole. I want that countersink a little bit more so that screw ain't sitting right out. Hopefully they don't take off on me. They didn't have any washers. I might put a couple washers back there to give it a little bit of a... Then again, I might actually pull it off. I'll probably end up pulling it off when I spray clear coat this, so it's sealed back behind there too. But anyways, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good one. Like, share, follow if you can, and check out my YouTube page, or this page if it's on the YouTube. I'm going to put them on both. So God bless you. Stay safe. See you tomorrow.